listening to Cleveland and Beyond with Andy Billman and Jared Watson, brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts.
And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts. Well, the Cavs lost a tough one to the Pelicans, man. They hung in there until late, and then they started chucking threes for some weird reason. But really, the team had no backcourt. Also, Kevin Love passes Mark Price in all-time threes made for the Cavs, and they sent each other some love on Twitter. Also, the Indians have won 4 straight, most of that damage against the Tigers over the past handful of days. So is it really fool's gold for these Indians at this point in the season, or should we actually be fired up that they are in first place in the Central right now? Is this the real deal for the Indians? We're going to talk about that. But first, all of us are on Jadeveon Clowney watch. So we're going to start with the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
I think this is the first time in my, what's up, Javius? In my lifetime since the move where we are going into pole position for we got to get big wins in as soon as the season starts. And I'm rambling, but Jadeveon Clowney coming to Cleveland adds another piece to the puzzle of Super Bowl. I think the expectations, no matter how you feel, and there's been expectations about, is he good enough? Is he worth the money? I think everybody's missing the big point. Mm-hmm. Jadeveon Clowney comes in. He's not the final piece. He's not something where it's like, oh, they need this to go. No, he's another addition, but it adds and elevates things because he is not going to be asked to be the guy.
Exactly.
We already know that Myles Garrett. We already know with the addition of Johnson and Hill and Walker, not including, you figure Taki, Mac Wilson, said player is going to improve. Billings, who didn't play last year. But the Jadeveon Clowney coming in will raise expectations, not just to us, but nationally. And I am ready for this. And that's my big announcement here today. He's going to sign in Cleveland. He's coming. And I'm very excited about it. And I don't think people should downgrade it. No matter if you don't think he's worth the money, no matter if you don't think that he's going to be, he's going to bring you super stats, all that, I'm not saying it's unfair. You're not realizing the situation. If Clowney comes to Cleveland, the Browns are going to be one of the 3 or 4 or 5 teams that go to the Super Bowl. And it's fair and it's accurate. And I think this team's ready for it. And I'm excited about this, Jared. This is big. I don't remember this happening in my Browns fandom as 41 years of age. I don't remember this.
Well, that's why the conversation
is huge.
That's why it's weird to even see some of the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't overspend. Well,
stop it.
Well, let's say this. Who gives a shit if they overspend?
Who cares?
You know why? Because it's for a 1 year or a 2 year. Okay, great. And you know why else? When has Haslam overspent on anything over the past? They've been under the cap by how many tens of millions every year. So A, quit worrying about overspending. B, Andrew Berry hasn't given any of us any reason to think that that's going to be the case, first of all. C, you're just adding to the talent that is already off the freaking charts. You bring in Clowney, who, okay, stats-wise, sack-wise, right? That's what's prevented Clowney from ever getting that big second contract,
sure,
that he was that got away from, right? That's why he's bounced around on these 1 years, because he hasn't gotten the big sack numbers, and that's what looks pretty. I don't give a shit. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler who's still young, who is going to look amazing on the edge. And then you can even there's times where you're going to see him and you're going to see Tack back up in the linebacker position on a 3rd down or something like that. There's times where they're going to be able to move guys around. There is just no reason to not like the idea of bringing Jadeveon Clowney to the Browns. I don't, and even if this is why it's like, I just don't understand the conversation. I'm not saying that Jadeveon Clowney wins us the Super Bowl. I'm saying it's another piece that makes life easier. Because you bring Jadeveon Clowney, guess what? Then you draft that corner.
Well, that's what this whole conversation is going to be. We are becoming the mid-90s Yankees. That's how fucking good this is. Do you know what the mid-90s Yankees did? They got so fucking wealthy and talented. They said, you know what? We're going to have Cecil Fielder and Darryl Strawberry on our bench. And that's basically what the Browns are doing. Yeah. They're basically saying, you know what? Jadeveon Clowney, you may not play in pass rushing situations. We're going to put that guy McKinley in the game. But when we need you in big running games against, I don't know, maybe Lamar Jackson he can come in and help and shut that guy down. Isn't that the whole point? Like, I don't think people realize. Did anybody watch the Ravens Monday Night Football game? Mid-90s football? I mean, it was fucking – it was we couldn't stop that guy. Yeah. I would love Jadeveon Clowney and try to stop that stuff. Javius, yes, of course the mid-90s tribe. This is – the Windians, Matt Bruning, all day. We're going to get to
I knew you were going to get hit but when you said that, bringing up the Yankees.
But it is that kind of move where it's
I know
like
what you mean.
Yes. Because Cecil Fielder didn't start. He came off the bench. We're going to have Clowney on certain third downs. Hey, you can take a rest. We're going to put McKinley in the game. That's how big of a move. I think there's too much localness of people saying, is it a good move? No. It is a good move.
Yeah, stop fucking analyzing it.
What are you debating? What are you?
You can bring them? Bring them.
Bring him in. Why? People
don't give me this whole shit either about, he was supposed to be here today, and he's not here today. Shut up.
Who fucking cares?
Who cares? He'll be here tomorrow. And by the way, and we all know that look.
Everybody's overreacting.
I'm going to guarantee it right now. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I've got a good feeling. As a guy who doesn't know shit about how this stuff works, right? I've got a good feeling. It'll be about a 2-year deal. It'll be incentive laden. It's not going to be an overpay. So don't overreact when you hear the initial numbers too.
Who cares?
Because you'll hear the initial numbers and you'll be like, what? They spent that much? And then you'll find out, it's all in incentive. But again, who gives a shit?
Trust Andrew Berry.
Yeah,
I trust Andrew Berry. Do you trust Andrew Berry?
Yeah.
Is there everybody say it with me? Trust Andrew Berry. Don't read headlines. We are not the Browns GM. He is. And he's very smart. And he's very good. Yeah. Trust this process. Yeah. This is not the old Browns.
No.
Don't get fucking worried about this shit.
No, quit it.
We are about ready to go big time. And don't start like, I'm indifferent. I don't really care if he comes. Bullshit. It'll be fucking great if Clowney comes.
Yeah, we're about
ready to go big time. I'm ready to go big time. I don't know if you're ready to go big time. I'm ready to go to fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing all these other fucking teams win. It's our turn. And Clowney's going to help this. I'm excited about this. This is a big time move. Yeah. Don't be like, it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. He can help. And we all know it. And here's the greatest thing about it. It's not life or death. Him coming in can really help the situation. This is great news. Get excited. I am surprised. Whatever. If he doesn't come, blah, blah. It's like, I've heard that from multiple people. Well, whatever.
I know. That's why I was teasing Ken.
Whatever. This is a big time dude. Get excited. I think people are.
Admittedly, I did say. Now I will say this too. Admittedly, I did say it's okay if he doesn't sign here. It is.
But this has changed. It's all changed. We all said that last week because we weren't sure. No. I said that Saturday night. But now that we know it's happening, my God, am I excited?
Right.
How can you cannot be today saying, well, if it doesn't happen. Oh, come on. How are you feeling that way?
Yeah, the bottom line is
it's time to get ready.
If he's coming tomorrow, look, he'll be here tomorrow.
He's signing, folks.
Yeah, pen to paper is happening.
Isn't it exciting? Am I wrong? I'm so excited about this. This is a big deal.
Well, because just think of last season. This team was as good as they were, got as far as they did with the talent that they have without the depth that they will have this next season.
Yes.
The depth. We were dealing with times where guys were hurt or they were COVID list.
Yes.
Do you not remember those weeks where we were wondering if the NFL, some of us like me, were going, why the fuck isn't the NFL putting this game on hold? Why the hell are they even letting them play? Do you remember? We didn't even have coaches. Remember that shit?
And we still won the fucking game.
And we still
won the fucking game. Going away.
So, but now we don't. But now we don't even have to. Now you don't want the depth that we could have by signing Jadeveon Clowney?
Corey Kitchen on Facebook. The Browns were 0-16 4 years ago. Nobody should be complaining about signing a good player. Thank you. I was fucking stunned.
Thank you.
Stunned. You're allowed to get excited about Jadeveon Clowney. There is no rule book that says, I'm going to be understated. Why would you be understated? It's a big move. This is great stuff. Get excited. Let's go. I mean, I'm telling you, how can you not be excited? Because now, as we're all going to reference, the draft has now shifted again. And Jared hit on it. Tony Grossi hit it on today and Lay on Demand. Everybody's going to start hitting it. Now it's time to cornerback alley. I mean, you are going to cornerback alley.
Andy.
Right now.
Andy, it's a deep wide receiver draft.
Maybe draft wide receiver.
I mean, why not? Because you're going to have to worry about that in the coming years too. There's so much play. There's so much room for play. So much room for activities.
Don't fucking get all humble pie today. Get excited. We don't get this much. Let's go. It's like what Jadeveon just said. Jadeveon just hit it. Jadeveon, I'm with you. Lock him. Let's go.
Yeah,
Roll the dice. Celebrate. Sip the champagne.
Nate Williams on Facebook.
Good. Jadeveon, thank you. Yeah.
Agree with Andy. Clowney on the other end would be huge. 2 former overall number 1 picks, ready to kill the opponent's quarterback, coming from all angles.
Nate, high five. Jadeveon, high five. Corey Kitchen, high five. Welcome to Let's Get Excited. Let's get fucking cocky. Let's dance the streets of Euclid Avenue, sipping champagne, as the Browns are going to win big in the fall, and they're going to win big in the fall. This is not over cocky. This team's going to big.
No, because this isn't a team with talent that is disorganized and cocky like they were with Freddie Kitchens.
No.
This is because admittedly, Andy and I bought right into that, and we walked right into that. We ate shit on all of that, but we learned very quickly. But what we know, especially from watching last year, and the converse of all of that, with who they have in there now, the coaching staff that they have in there now, to keep those guys focused. Even though they have all this talent, you saw what they were able to do last season, and that only makes you feel good about what this coming season is going to be when you add talent to that roster.
How can you not be excited today? I am so excited. I was when I saw that report last night.
Because it's not in the blood of people in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, you gotta get
be
over
excited.
It.
You know damn well.
I mean, as Javius mentioned earlier, this is 90s tribe, which I said before. This is 16, 15, 14 Cavs. This is getting really fun. This is 15, 16 Indians. This is good stuff.
Like
we're about ready to win big.
Finally gonna happen.
Big, 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 big. Can't wait. Can't wait. Matt Bruning, who studies the draft. Matt Bruning on Facebook.
What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother?
I think with as deep as the wide receiver classes you attack a wide receiver in the second round, probably now. Grab a really good linebacker or cornerback in the first round. I am with you. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Now the only thing is I don't think the linebacker that I want that I would like to see him get that we've heard good things about is that linebacker out of Notre Dame. But odds are he's going to be gone early 20s, if not sooner. He's not going to fall to 26. But stranger things have happened. I would love to see them do something a little bit more at linebacker. But then again, I think with the way that you're setting up that front line, that front four, that you want to solidify the depth that you can solidify at corner. We know damn well that secondary has been eaten alive all last year.
I actually think linebacker, unless it's like a Collins, like someone who you just think is. See, I'm not going to even predict. Like the kid out of Notre Dame, I'm a huge Irish fan. He's good. There's a lot of players who, if you think is like a star, you draft them. So I'm never going to say that. But outside of that, like world, cornerback, I still say defensive end because Clowney's not going to be here forever, or wide receiver. All those are fine. But I'm telling you, this reminds me of last year's draft. It's so narrow. Cornerback makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
If you're talking this year, you draft a kid out of Tech, Northwestern, the kid out of Bama, I mean, you're looking. We're gonna walk through them. These are the guys now that really come into play. It just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense. And again, I just think the one thing that I got out of today to break down this deal. I mean, less of things. Yo, what's up, Jolly? Like on YouTube. Hey, Jolly. This is a kind of Jared. I was very surprised by the ho-hum attitude, the ho-hum shoulder shrug. This is a big time move. This is a kind of thing that really will catch eyeballs, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
Because Jadeveon Clowney is not asking to lift the defense. He's asking to complement the defense. And my God, can he complement? Again, we're all mentioning the same things. He does great against the run. He is a good pass rusher. Not great, but good. But he's not going to be asked to play 70% or more of the plays. He's going to be rotated. He's going to be doing different things. And that's why this move is so exciting. The Browns are now have depth everywhere except for one cornerback. Cornerback's it. You can every other case, we're going to go through it. You can make the case now for anywhere else. It's pretty stacked. Jared, it's getting to that point. I mean,
outside of I'll challenge you on one other position, and that is whoever's going to be running back kicks.
Okay. You want to get nickel and diming?
That's totally nickel and diming. That's it.
Parky makes me shit my pants in a big spot.
Yeah, that's gotten
and I'm not forgetting that.
Hey, he made five. He made all five in the postseason.
Great. Great. And by the way, great. I still am not a believer. I got to be honest.
All right.
And it is a big time moment to get someone who can kick off with kickoffs and punt returns for a returner. Now, Natson's coming back. He has not been healthy. I have middle to low expectations for him, but I do agree with Jared. If you want to draft a kid who I watched and loved more out of Purdue, I think that would be smart. If you want to draft someone else in there who could do that, I think that would be a smart pick. I think Jared's right. But I'm telling you, cornerback, let's break it down. We know we got, obviously, Ward. You got Troy Hill, the new guy who's coming over from the Rams, and you got Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams, even before his injury, did not play well in 19. He played one practice and got hurt. And it's nothing against the man, because we're all rooting for him to come back, but that's just being fair and honest. Jared, you have to get someone else behind Greedy Williams now.
Yeah,
you have to.
It only makes sense, to be honest. It really does. It only makes sense to go corner at this point. It's unfortunate because you feel like they already did this, you know. Well, they got to go back and do it again. Good. Do it.
I mean, I just think if we're all being honest and take a breath, now that we have our defensive end situation opposite fixed, defensive line's there, linebackers, you added Walker, you got young guys, you got Phillips coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, you got situations where you're really excited. If you really look at this team, there's only one position left in its cornerback. That's it. Everywhere else has been really shored up, but not just start. I mean, everywhere's tight. Everywhere. Jadeveon again, a full training camp and preseason in the same season. This is the perfect storm. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. And Jared, Jared, we talked about this, and Jadeveon hits upon it. This team did this all during a pandemic. What is going to happen when they get back? There's no coaching changes. There's no weirdness this year.
Yeah.
Everybody comes back. And the Browns were one of the most unhealthiest teams from day one in training camp. Day one. If they can just get a break or breath of healthiness.
And a healthy Odell.
Buckle the fuck up and get ready for the Browns winning big.
A healthy Odell under Coach Stefanski.
Big.
Figuring things out.
Big.
With Baker.
Mr. Hurd.
Insane. Offensive.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to be nuts.
We're not even talking about the offense right now.
We haven't. No.
That's even fucking good how the Browns are.
We don't even have to talk about the offense.
No. Hurd on Facebook again. Javius. The Browns might trade for Gilmore. If they do that, I would do I really would. I would light off fireworks in Cheshire, Connecticut. Because we're going to the Super Bowl. Corey Kitchen, the offensive line and draft, no depth. We got lucky last year with our line being healthy most of the season. Actually, Corey, I remember there being injuries in and out. I mean, we had Taylor miss some games. We had JC Treader miss some games. We had some dinks and dunks. We had Conklin miss some games. So the offensive line had some nicks and bruises, and they made it through.
I will say this:
it wasn't clean.
I won't. Fair enough. Third round.
Yeah.
And I do think that they'll do that. Plus, the other thing that's good about that offensive line is they're young. They're young, and they're one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
They're all under 30, if I'm not mistaken.
They're very, very good.
So
Nate Williams, what about kicker? Is Parkey the answer? Nate, I just spoke about this. I don't think so.
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, clearly they have a plan, because they went out there with them last season, and they didn't deviate, and they didn't freak out and go and get anybody. All
right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't get into their head when it comes to how they handle special teams.
Ready?
Is really what it comes down to.
Ready? Arrowhead, big spot, AFC Championship game. Parkey, 33-31. Parkey's got to make a field goal from 42 yards out. How do you feel? I would take a blindfold and do a shot of whiskey and say a Hail Mary. That's a nerve-wracking kick for a guy who's doinked a big field goal in a big spot. Parkey makes me nervous. Just being honest. Jadeveon again. The Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator is active. Yes.
No, addictive.
Addictive, or what I say, active? Yeah. Jadeveon, I've had too much coffee today. I clearly can't read. Is addictive. I agree. I will say, though, now this is, and I'm glad, this is the most boring draft for me outside of just entertainment. Meaning, I believe in this system so much, even if they were to go wide receiver, which I don't think they will. If they do, I'm fine with it. I think cornerback makes a lot of sense. That's right, dog.
Apparently, dog just randomly barking. I mean, if you listen to the show, dogs just bark around this house.
Yep. Well, it happens. But I will say, I mean, hell, on Set the Edge, and I'm sure one of my kids' toys will fall at some point randomly. But again, like in these spots with this organization and team, cornerback makes sense. But if they go outside the box, they're doing it because they know what the fuck they're doing. And again, I'll just leave it on this note. I think cornerback's the way to go. You can make an argument for other things. Like we did 2 years ago, I believe in, like with Antonetti and these guys and the Indians, I believe in the Browns and Andrew Berry that much. Whatever they see fit, I might say, like, I would have done this, but I know they know what they're doing, and I believe in them, and I believe in this organization a lot right now. Jared, I believe in them a lot. I have a lot of stock in these people.
I have, yeah, because I mean, this is the most relaxed I've been
I
as a Browns fan in my entire life. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been more relaxed. Jadeveon again on Facebook. If Bateman from Minnesota falls to us, we have to take it.
That's fine. Bateman is talented. I really like the kid out of Northwestern who someone pointed out today. He had a great let me get his name. Greg Newsome. I watched, for some reason, Northwestern was a lot on my screen this year for football. He sticks out. I like Newsome a lot. Surtain's good for Alabama. He is good. I did not see a lot of South Carolina, so I can't tell you much about Horn. Farley is, everybody's been saying it. He had an ACL surgery. He had some procedures on his back, so he didn't play last year. Everybody thinks he's got a full bill of health. According to most, who's experts, if he were healthy, he'd be one of the top cornerbacks taken off the draft. So you got some cornerbacks, but again, if I'm being fair, Jared, that kid out of Northwestern, he stood out to me in those games I watched. I mean, he's good. So like I have no problem with any of those guys. The kid Newsome wouldn't bother me either. And again, I trust the Browns whatever they think is best. If they think it's that kid Horn, who's a Joe Horn relative from South Carolina, cool. Is it Surtain, who got a lot of hype? I thought he was good for Alabama. Yeah, take him. Cool. The kid Farley, everybody thinks he's the most talented player, but he's got injury issues. Okay. I mean, whatever they think. They want to get those 4 quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I haven't even bothered looking very much. It's not something that I'll probably dive into for another week. And then in a week, I'll cram. And I'll probably make a couple of my own personal decisions based on what I see, what I like, what I think will fit. And I'll go from there. And Andy and I, we haven't really talked about this. We talked about it on our Instagram page at Official Cleveland Sports. We're going to be at the draft with Holly Wetzel, and we will be there on Thursday and Friday. And on Thursday night, we are going to do Instagram live pop-ins right there on at Official Cleveland Sports. We'll do the pop-ins with updates and just giving you kind of feels for the atmosphere, what it's like downtown, just trying to get you an idea of what it's like to be in the mix wherever we end up, because we still haven't figured out exactly how it's even going to go down on Thursday night. And then Friday night, we're going to set up live and do a show just like this on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and do a live show on Friday, recapping the Thursday night and going over Friday night stuff and doing a regular show. And then we'll put that up on iTunes and Google Play, Stitcher, all that good stuff, wherever podcasts are found, where all you guys download and listen to the show. So be ready for that on draft night and the following night here on these outlets. And we'll be there covering all this stuff. If you want to mix it up with us, as opposed to your other ways of watching draft coverage, because we're just going to have a little fun with it. Obviously, we're not dumb enough to try to compete with everything that's going to go on Thursday night, because Lord knows that's a lot.
Why would you listen to the same? Stop it. Listen to us. Do you really want to listen? I mean, how many times you listen to Mel Kiper and McShay and these other guys? Look, you can read it all and go back on your internet.
You can do both. You can do both on Thursday. You can do both on Thursday.
You should mute those fuckers and listen to us.
We're not going to be live the whole time on Instagram.
No, just for an hour. Friday.
4 hour. We're setting up and doing a show. Now, see, we're doing production work right now, trying to pre-production work right now, live on the show, trying to figure out what we're going to do. Whatever.
Jadeveon Clowney coming to Cleveland is not a shoulder shrug. People should not downplay this.
No.
It's a big deal. It's a good thing. We're not saying LT, Lawrence Taylor, or someone else is coming to Cleveland. No. What we're saying is there's a very good player who has good skills who's coming to Cleveland to help out a defense. And if you don't want to get excited about that, fine. I get it. But don't downplay it too much. Come on. Get excited. Take a ride on the train of fun. I just thought today, blah, blah, blah. Come on. This is fun. Jared, this is fun. I thought it was a little bit too much shoulder shrug for me today. Blah, blah, blah. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, I was up early, so I'm up early, hitting the gym, and then waiting on. I got my cabinets in for my house we're moving into. That's ready to go. Got my fridge delivered today. Went back to the gym, finished up the cardio, and you were sending me messages. Hey, get ready with the graphic for Jadeveon. And I said, I've been monitoring all fucking morning, all morning. I was on Twitter just refreshing from like 7 o'clock in the morning until about 10 o'clock. And then I think I saw the message come out that, calm yourself. He's not coming till tomorrow. And I said, okay, well, I can relax now, but at least we've got a little bit of confirmation. We saw CBS coming out, confirming a few things. And by the way, on this one, I got to say, pay attention to the national sources on this. I think some of the local sources got a little overzealous trying to downplay that this was going to happen today. Not a lot of them, but a couple of them. And that kind of threw me off because it didn't need to be said, because where this information was coming from, there was no reason to believe that it wasn't true. And sure enough, again, tomorrow looks like it'll be the day. And hopefully by Wednesday, they'll have pen to paper. Be excited. The Browns are going to win the fucking Super Bowl next year.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
They're going to win it.
They're going to win the whole fucking thing.
They're going to win the whole fucking thing. There's only one thing left to do.
Champagne on the draft. Why? Because the Browns are that fucking good. On the 29th and 30th, it's time to celebrate. We have been put through so much crap, so much fucking bullshit. It's all gone. JV's on Facebook with a good capper. A very different type of clown show referencing Clowney. Yes, it is, sir. Yes, it is. Anyways. No.
Win the Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl. Tristan McKenzie's on the mound. Let's talk about the tribe.
Cleveland Indians.
McKenzie on the mound. 0-0 right now. Here's the impressions of the Indians that I got going into the Tiger series. Wondering if the offense was going to be able to score runs, even in a victory on the Wednesday before the Friday game. It's like, boy, J-Ram took 2 home runs. Felt like they just eked out. They did over the Royals. And I kind of said, I go, look, the Indians need to win these games because I think it's Detroit because, boy, what's coming up is a big workload. And I just hope they win 2 out of 3. Well,
right.
Not only they tried 1 2 out of 3, they won 3 out of 3. And I thought that was much needed. You never want to talk that way in early April, but the Indians need to take care of the Motor City Kitties when they play them. They're a terrible team.
Well,
and they need to win those games. I'm glad they did. That was a big weekend series in April. I hate saying it, but it's true.
This is where everything starts to get, good news and let's be realistic. Good news and let's be realistic. Good news category. Fran Mills hitting the ball. Pitching still looks fucking amazing. Other guys started coming around hitting the ball as well. The Indians put up runs to the point where they are now like 3rd in the league or something like that with a number of runs scored, which is insane at this point of the season. It's the most runs or something like that. The most runs that Tito has ever had opening to this many games as Indians head coach.
The Cleveland's 7th.
Okay, so 7th, close 7th, but most Tito's had. At this point, starting with with his time with the Indians this early in the season, home runs wise, not after yesterday, but the day before they were 3rd in home runs, and the last time that they had that many home runs to start a season, each time they either won a World Series or lost a World Series. So there's all these like fun little stats that make you go, holy shit, is this really what's going on? Is this a real picture of the Indians right now? Because, Andy, you and I know all we wanted to do was kill them during the opening series and at beginning things with the Royals because they just weren't hitting the ball. Is this lineup going to hit the ball? Or are we just being played the fools? And that's what we're going to have to find out starting tonight. This series with the White Sox is where it all begins, where we get to see, okay, what are the real Cleveland Indians? What are they actually capable of? What can they deliver? This is where it's going to start to matter. They did what they had to do. They took care of business with Detroit. That's expected. If you're gonna win the Central, that's a mandatory thing to do. Now, how do you compete against other teams within the division that don't suck as bad as Detroit? We're not Detroit. Thank God, we're not Detroit.
Add in the Reds and the Yankees. I mean, this is a real
right.
I mean, these are real games. I'll go backwards, go forward. I got to emphasize again though, the Tigers are terrible. Jared's right. By the way, 2 outs in the first here for McKenzie. So a good start for him.
Yeah, he's looking good.
I think that kid's going to be a star. The Indians needed to take care of that, and it was good to see it. If you really watch the Tigers bullpen, it's a disaster. Their bats are very average at best to below average, realistically, and their pitching is bad. It's basement bad. So they needed to take care of business, and they did. I thought what was a great sign, though, from all these games, I think is a realistic positive sign. So it's both. It's realistic and being positive. When you get contributions, Jared, from everyone at times, except for one Jake Bowers, you got contributions from Franmil Reyes big time. You got contributions from J-Ram.
Yes.
Eddie Rosario had a fantastic Sunday. Perez hit a home run. Looked good. Ahmed Rosario got walks, got the whole game, got the whole series started on Friday with a single. Everybody contributed. I can give you every mark except for really, like I said, poor Jake Bowers. Bowers stinks. Everybody also made contributions on the team. Even Yu Chang had some moments. Everybody's got to. By the way, Tristan McKenzie striking out the side here to go.
Good to know because my stream's slow compared to you. He's down 3-1. He's down 3-1 right now. Looking at Abreu for me. Now got back to full. Anyway,
he's about ready. He's about ready to say Abreu goodbye. But the one thing is the watch contributions like that's a good sign. This isn't like the years where, if we're being honest, even last year, and this is the one thing I did not take seriously, but I should have taken note. Santana did a lot of the heavy lifting first 2 weeks. And then at the end of the year, J-Ram did all the lifting, really going in the playoffs. To see this early on, Jared, where you're getting contributions from many people, now look, they have to do it over a continuous period, but that is a good sign. It's a good sign to see on certain nights. Wow, Ahmed Rosario kind of got it started. Reyes cleaned up. Then the next rise, Perez, Luplo went off. Like everybody had different – you're seeing different guys do different things in a 3-game series. That was really good to see. Last year, it was only a short season, but it was like Santana went off for a week. At the end of the year, J-Ram went crazy. He went so crazy, he got second in the AL MVP voting. So it's good to see this stuff. Yes, Jadeveon, that is from old school. We're going to get to your comments here in a second. Jadeveon, very, very well aware. Great film, by the way. Old School is a very underrated film.
Underrated? I thought everybody loved it.
Loved it, but it's forgotten. It needs to be brought back. Anyways, though, the tribe is on their way, I think, with that stuff, meaning if you get contributions, that's how the team's going to win. Now, we're burying the lead. This staff and this young bullpen of talented arms is very enticingly exciting. Jared, Bieber, Cy Young Award winner. Plesac, nasty numbers. Savali, my God, Savali was wonderful on Saturday. Then you look at Logan Allen, young but lefty, looks good so far. McKenzie, I just told you. There are and then you get to what you hit upon on Sunday, which Matt Lode hit upon today too in SI, who follows the Indians. It looks like Emmanuel Clase is becoming that closer guy.
Yeah.
And it's really being defined. And I think this is real excitement. I think that what I said in the hitting is real excitement. And the pitching staff, starting pitching for sure, in this bullpen led by Clase, it's hard not. I think this is real and positive. I do.
Where I sat there and questioned whether this was fool's gold or not regarding the Indians, I'm speaking specifically towards the hitting because I am very close, and maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe this is where somebody tells me I need to pump up the brakes, but this is some of the best pitching, if not the best pitching, collectively speaking, that I have ever seen with this Indians team. And that is insane for me to even feel like I can say that, knowing how good these pitching staffs have been over the past years. The difficult thing that's going to be to figure out is this bullpen as good as I think they are? Because we're not seeing very much of them. I love what I saw out of Shaw the other day. It was better than what I saw out of Shaw prior.
Shaw had a good outing.
I mean, what exactly? I just think I think we're at that point where collectively, when you look at the back end, Karinchak, Whitgren, Clase, rotating them, this early already, we're thinking, maybe we don't need to rotate. Maybe you rotate the other two on that 7th and 8th inning, and maybe you just go ahead and you put Clase in that 9th and you stop fucking around. Maybe that's how that goes. Because I don't know how anyone's going to touch a 100-mile-an-hour cutter.
Oh,
it's not going to happen.
You don't
have time to think.
He just looks the part. Here's the one thing I agree with though when it comes to the reasonable expectations now to what you're saying, because I think there is reasonableness. I agree with what you're saying. I do want to see if this can stay this high, this good,
right,
going into July.
It's a long season.
I know. And that's where it's like right now it is very good.
I know.
But is this going to continue? I don't know.
Second, third, fourth pass through for some of these teams.
If the offense drops off a cliff, which I hate saying it, still might happen. Can the pitching lift? Because it's a young staff. Can it lift it to those games where they win 2-1, 3-1, 3-2? I don't know. We'll see.
And is it going to be a lot of games where they have to win?
3-2, 4-2.
All right.
Might be. And I think that's where the mental grind is the season. Because I saw Jadeveon, who asked a good question. By the way, howdy, Damien. Good to see you in the room.
Hey, what's up, Damien? How you doing, man?
What do they do if they're in a playoffs race at the deadline? I think, Jadeveon, here's the big question to what you're saying. If there is a reasonable trade to be made, and Bobby Bradley comes up and doesn't excite people, and maybe Ahmed Rosario or Daniel Johnson, something happens wonky, do you try to trade for a leadoff hitter? Do you try for a big bat? Coco Crisp, Damien, on Facebook. You're funny.
Hey, Coco Crisp.
That's exciting.
Coco Crisp leading up the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, brother. I'll be up there in Trumbull County, oddly enough. Named the Mahoning Valley Scrappers in Niles, Trumbull County. Strange.
I've been there. Been to multiple games there.
I watched Kelly Pavlik fight there as well.
I watched CC Sabathia pitch for the Indians.
I never got to see CC throw there, but I did get to see him throw against the Red Sox. It might have been his first start, if I'm not mistaken, against Roger Clemens.
I watched Sabathia.
First start. I can't remember if it was his first.
And then a long time ago, back in the Wayback Machine. Do you remember Hideki Arabu?
Oh my God, yeah, I do.
I watched him pitch for the Clippers when they were still the Yankees organization, and they were playing the Indians AAA organization. I believe it was
I had a cousin who was one of those Scrappers girls too.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So the Indians is the real tester. I do think, though, it is realistic to say, can this continue? They're pitching elite. Because it's so young, I will say in fairness, a long season with a young pitching staff can get tiresome. So that's not being unfair, because again, I think for a few weeks you can win 3-2, 4-2 over a long haul of a season with a young pitching staff. It's asking a lot, so the hitting has to continue the way it's going, and I think that's the big question here.
Well,
can this stay this line? I don't know the answer.
What helps is being able to keep that rotation a solid 5, being able to, staying healthy, being able to move, Tristan McKenzie in there if he can consistently start games. We did see Tristan McKenzie come out of the bullpen earlier this season already.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're ahead. You're ahead of me, and this is pissing me off. I don't want to do a show where you're seeing things that I'm not seeing. Clearly, the Indians are taking the lead here in the second inning, and I haven't seen it yet with a ding-dong.
Damian Fucella.
Oh, yeah. The Rosarios are batting back-to-back tonight as well.
Eddie Rosario. I love him. Two-run dinger. 2-0. Good guys. Paul Carrollson crying.
Well, I will say this. This team, after that last series with Detroit, winning 4 straight, and just watching them, I'm liking them. I'm liking them a lot more than I thought I would.
I am actually.
I am.
I'm more litmus test. I want to see these next 2.5 weeks. I want to see what they do. I do. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I just like them. I just like them.
No, I like this team. Now that's a different question. I like this team. I like this team a lot more than you ever did in spring training. I like this team. I like cheering for them. I like rooting for them. Everybody was Debbie Downer except for really me. I felt like at times I was lifting.
Well, my bitterness, it came from some other.
But that's okay. That's okay. But no, it's okay. But like, here's the thing about this club. I have hope. And I had more hope after this week. But realistic Randy here, which I'll call myself here, realistic Randy tells me, hey, we got to see what these next 2.5 weeks are about.
Absolutely.
Got to see what we can do. Because, again, like, hey, it's good 2-0. Maybe listen to this podcast. If they can continue this up, if they stay healthy, the pitching is definitely gotten signs that it's there and it's lethal. Yeah,
we didn't talk about this. It was weird watching how they beat the Tigers the last the last game of that series. Damien on Facebook. It was nice to see them win against the Tigers without using the long ball as much.
Tigers are a really bad team.
They scored oddly in that game early, and then the Tigers fell apart too. After that Fran Miller hit, and then throwing the ball to the backstop and all that stuff. The Tigers.
There were Little League errors made in the 8th inning.
Oh, it's bad.
The Tigers implosion. The throw at home plate was.
It was like watching the Cavs on a bad night.
It literally hit the. Oh, that was rough, Jared. It was literally hitting. But fair. It was literally hitting the screen with the ball bad. I mean the Tigers. All right, let's do 2 seconds. Tigers are bad. It's embarrassing that Indians lost 2 out of 3 start the year.
Yeah.
And the Tigers are bad.
Well,
I like the kid.
I do find it odd that Major League Baseball decided that during this time of year to start us in Detroit in the middle of like don't play in Cleveland and don't play in Detroit at the beginning of the year. It's going to be snowing.
But by the way, they got away with it because there was no rainouts, no rain delays, no snow delays. So
it should have been at one moment.
It should have been
one moment, but whatever.
But the other thing I noticed from this nickel and diming stuff, I do want to give a shout out. We kind of breezed past them. Savali and Plesac, they're not going to get the headline that Bieber does nationally, but for us Indians fans, we know. Savali, if he continues this, my gosh, I think this kid is got a world of talent. And I don't know about Savali yet, but I think Plesac could be an all-star type talent. I really do. I think he's that good. I think Plesac's nasty. I think Plesac is really, really good. On some teams, not all teams, but on the lower third teams of pitching, he could be their ace for some clubs. Plesac's really good.
And very important for this team, as they are doing tonight, to play from ahead. And now you have given Tristan McKenzie a cushion, and you're heading into the bottom of the second, and we're going to see how they do.
All right, let's ask them key questions. Let's get to it. Let's ask 4 key questions here.
Let's do it.
If Jared Watson as a lineup, and you said, okay, who's going to lead off? Who would be your consistent leadoff guy?
Oh boy, honest to God, I don't have that answer yet, and part of it is because I don't necessarily like what's going on in center field and first base yet. So it's hard for me to make that call. Do I like Luplo leading off like he is tonight? No.
I would put Ahmed Rosario every day leading.
That's off. Where I'm at right now. But I don't know that it needs to be that way.
I've seen people comment in the Instagram room that Hernandez said he does not want to lead off. I've not seen that story. I actually tried looking for it. I couldn't find that story. But I'll just say this. I think
I thought Hernandez had great numbers leading off in the past too.
Yeah, I think Hernandez should lead off. But if he doesn't want to, it should be Ahmed Rosario. And by the way, Rosario, I think Ahmed Rosario can do it. So that's my question. So that's my point. I mean, Damien with a Facebook. Gamble leading off all the way. Yeah, I never understood that signing from day one. Ben Gamble, if you listen to the show, probably good dude. I'll buy you a beer. I think you fucking blow. Sorry. I think Ben Gamble stinks. Now, let's go to the other question. He stinks. Am I wrong? He's fucking awful.
Damien, you're an asshole for even saying it.
Look, we all make mistakes.
Andy and I want to pull our hair. Oh.
Ben Gamble. Yeah.
It ain't fair to laugh. I get it. You're professional baseball players.
Hey, I just told you you're a nice guy. Great catch by Eddie Rosario. Oh, no, it's a single. Fuck. No, wow.
Thanks, Andy. Take the sunglasses off. You'll see better.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to break Jared's balls by calling every play. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, is it just a matter of a death march? I mean, Jake Bauers has to go down. It's sad. I actually think it's uncomfortable now. And
I don't know what they're doing.
I think it's actually best for Jake Bauers for him to go down.
Yes.
I think it's I thought
because he needs to figure it out, and he ain't going to figure it out up here.
I'm not saying this to be mean. Jake Bauers, you need to go down to work on your game and come back up. I'm sorry. I felt bad for you. I thought he looked sad playing on Sunday. I really did. I'm not just saying it. I thought he looked uncomfortably sad.
Swap him with Zimmer. Hey, how's that other kid that we got rid of? Naquin. He's hitting bombs, huh? That's all right. Nobody would look. I would have never saw that coming.
By the way, it's
never
April.
saw it coming.
By the way, it's April.
Yeah, it is early. That kid swung he had no patience at the plate. That kid swung at some of the most ridiculous shit. So whatever.
Question number 3. Are you good with 3? We know. Okay, there's no questions 1, 2, and 3. We know that. I'm good with Logan Allen, Tristan McKenzie. I don't think it's far fetched to say that they are a solid 4 and 5, even just 8 games in. Am I wrong? I think 4 and 5 is solidified. Logan Allen, McKenzie are going to be there all year. Am I wrong? I don't think there's going to be a moment where they go down AAA. I think they're going to be there all year long. I
think it would be ridiculous to mess with anything that's working like that. Yeah, there's no, and even so, what? No.
My point is, this is what we're getting. Like, meaning, like they'll lose, they'll have moments.
They're going to, but they've got to.
I think this is. I mean, I think 4 and 5 are solidified. Is my opinion. Like Cal Control coming out of the bullpen's cool. I think 4 and 5 the way they are. I heard people debate about that. Big question number 4 is I've seen JVS ask it. I get asked constantly on Instagram.
Yeah.
If the Indians do make the playoff push and they're sniffing it, will they actually make a trade at the deadline? I don't think so either.
No, they're not going to. No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so either.
Be prepared for this team to do it all on their own. As they are, who they are, that's it.
Damian, let me just tell you, we all took a shit on Ben Gamble. Just accept it.
Yeah, Damian on Facebook. I said it.
No, Damian. You took a shit on him too. I just helped you.
Yeah.
I dump truck.
You did. You just piled on.
Is anybody thrilled about Ben Gamble playing at all? Come on. EJ, good to see you, EJ.
EJ coming in angry.
At Facebook.
EJ on Facebook.
The Indians are the Major League Baseball level farm team. Oh no.
They're actually not.
I don't, boy, EJ, I don't feel that at all.
No, they're actually.
Framil Reyes is good DH. I think for the first time, the Indians have a legitimate DH.
Naylor's going to be good.
I like Naylor. He's having a slow start. Hernandez is a pro.
Rosario's good. Again, best pitching staff. God, best pitching staff in the league.
Yeah, EJ, I don't know about that, actually. I don't agree. I actually feel like for the first time, Jared, the Indians have a legitimate DH. We've been doing this podcast for years. Do you know how many times Jared and I'd be like, well, who's really the DH? The Indians didn't feel like they had one at times.
I'm not screaming for them to sign. Yeah, I'm not screaming for them to sign Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that either.
Right? I mean,
I'll tell you the truth.
Great.
At some point, someone's going to be like, okay, are we ready to bring up Bobby Bradley and Daniel Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to add a whole lot.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference.
Damian again. No, they won't make a trade. Why would the Dolans? Oh my God! Everybody shits on the Dolans.
Well, I think that Paul's earned that at this point.
There is a lot of I'm not going to go down this. I don't want to defend the Dolans too much, but I'm going to defend the problems in baseball. The Indians don't get the same revenue these other teams do.
No, you're right.
And after the pandemic, it's gotten exposed.
But what I'm saying is, Paul Dolan doesn't help his own cause.
No, that's different.
Paul Dolan clearly needs a PR makeover, someone to teach him what to say and what not to say on live television.
I completely agree.
And the other fiasco that just happened regarding the Mickey Callaway situation wasn't handled well whatsoever either. And so let's just let's just go ahead and talk about the fact that we're going to not be the Cleveland Indians, but we're going to keep the name for the next 3 years. Again, thank you, Paul Dolan, for not having any clear fucking direction forward with any of this. Paul Dolan has not helped his own cause. He has not given anyone a reason or incentive to come sit in the seats. All he's done is driven people nuts over the past 3 years with his own mouth, not even just with his moves with the team, because there have been times he has spent money. I'm not even going to say that he's been a guy who hasn't been willing to spend money, but the guy has dug his own fucking hole 4 or 5 times in the past 16 months. It's obnoxious. Enjoy him while he's here. Do I need to say any more? Like, come on, man. That's why. That's why you can only get 6,500 people in a stadium when you're allotted 10,000. Because you're screwing up by the shit that's coming out of your mouth, and apparently people are afraid to tell you, quit going on TV.
Do it make you feel better?
Yeah, sure.
Mets fans are already frustrated with Lindor.
What did I tell you, Andy? I told you he's not.
It's only 5 games, though. But
told you I don't think he's a leader in the clubhouse. I don't think he wears the shoes that people think that he wears. Told you I don't think that's what he is. Mr. Smiles all the time, happy.
EJ's got the cutest kid on Facebook. His name is Clark, and he's an adorable kid. Yeah. But this is passion from the Jared Watson Scalata world. Over the previous years, letting all of our players go without paying them. It follow up. Still fuck the Dolans.
I'm not. I understand.
Me too, Damien.
I love it when Jared's fired up. Thanks, Damien.
Just bring up Dolans. To me, it's Ben Gamble, but Dolans. I think this week, a good week for the Indians would be going 4-3. You win.
I said 500. I said I'll take 500.
Well, they play 7, so I'll say 4-3.
Oh, and they tie?
Right now. I'll predict a ring now on Thursday.
It could happen.
But I think a good week would be 4-3, 5-2, 3-4 is fine. You don't want. He's
got a nice cut, by the way. He really does. He looks like a ball player.
He looks that part.
Son of a bitch! If he can only hit. Angry Jared Hulk smash. Thanks, EJ. Hulk mad.
And that is your Cleveland Indians. Quickly to the Cavs.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I will get to the positive.
And as I say that, Yu Chang hits a dribbler to the pitcher. Anyway,
I didn't ruin that one for you. I didn't ruin that one for you. I did watch it. I was like, I could fuck with Jared.
Cue balled it off the end of the bat. All right, go ahead. Cavs. Let's talk about the Cavs. Let's talk about. I watched the last 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes, 8 full minutes of that Pelicans game. They had no one. But then Delhi decided to chuck up knuckleball threes.
Poor Dellavedova can't shoot. It's sad.
I don't know what they were doing. They were up 1.
Him.
They were up 1. They were up 1 and then shot 6 threes in a row. Like, why? You didn't need to.
They don't have any players right now.
They didn't need to shoot threes all the time. They had some size in.
They did the best they could. I really mean that. If you don't have
that Zion dunk was a cherry
Sunday,
on top.
For people listening on the podcast, Sunday night, the Cavs played the Pelicans. They did not have the following players: Garland and Sexton. That's your starting backcourt. Yeah. Jared Allen. I guess Allen's really hurt from that concussion because he still hasn't played. It's been a while now. It's been
concussions are nothing to fuck with.
Nothing. No. I'm not sneezing on. I'm just saying it's been 3 weeks, so he's seriously banged up.
Well, but worse than a calf strain. But go ahead.
Kevin Love, I just want to tell you, I think people pick on you way too much.
I only picked on him for that.
My turn.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, I love you. From love to love. And I love when you shoot threes. And I love how you beat Mark Price. I love Mark Price, but I think it's cool how you beat Mark Price. It shows you how many threes you made. And I think your calf strain is legitimate. Thank you. Ben Gamble blows. Thank you. Now, the Cavs have Hartenstein. I like him. I think he's a legitimate backup setter who could be a starting center at some point. Kick and pass. The other good news in these last few games is Okoro. Okoro has grown. He is not superstar status. He is not flashy all-star rookie guy, but he's growing into the game. And I've seen a growth in his last week to week with him.
Yeah.
And it got talked about on Cleveland.com, and I thought those were good articles. I've seen the same thing. I am seeing growth in Okoro. So I want to bring up the two positives. I was down on McGree being traded. Mentally, I don't think it's the best thing for this team. Okay. I was really curious about this Hartenstein kid. He's been, Jared, what were the Nuggets not doing playing this kid? Like, as soon as his passing ability, He definitely fouls a lot, which I'm okay with. He's got to temper that down a little bit.
Yeah, he fouled out the other day, right?
No, but you know why they're not. Every time he does it, I'm like, I get it. Like every time I go, like now he's got to temper down. But like
his last foul was a blocking foul. It's kind of weird.
It is weird, but he does that. He's just a big guy. But like I'm seeing parts on the Cavs now. All that to be said, here are the other side. I'm gonna get to some negatives. I am very curious about Windler at all anymore. And what I mean by that is like, I don't have much hope in Windler. He's hurt again. This is the second year in a row he's been hurt a lot. He's kind of going down that road of he's going to get forgotten soon. I think the days of getting excited about Windler are thinning. They're thinned out on me, meaning I don't have much hope. When he comes back healthy, I hope to see the kid play. But even now, Windler, he's been out a lot. I get concerned. And there's bits and parts. Another nice man, had a great Head and Shoulders commercial overseas. I think Chetty Osman's days are, I think they're done.
And we can't emphasize this enough. This Cavs team, the entire season, has dealt with one injury after another, after another, after another, after another.
It's been silly.
The entire fucking year. Is this Cavaliers team a 500 or 500 plus team next season? No.
Do I see parts that could be possible to build something? Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a long ways to go? Sadly, yes. They are a shooter or two away. They've got to get more healthy. And the one thing, unlike the Browns, the Cavs injuries are very consistent, meaning, Jared, Garland's missed a lot of time. And I like Garland, but he's missed a lot of time already in his career. Love's never healthy, as you point out, with that calf strain. Chetty Osman's frustratingly bad, as Damian points out on Facebook. But there are some things on this Cavs team with injuries. Larry Nance, love him. I love Larry Nance Jr. He's such a good fixture in his community. You know, you just hope next year these guys can stay more healthier. Because if they're in and out like this a lot, and there's a lot of NBA teams that go through in and out of injuries, I get it. Cavs, though, from day one have just been banged up.
I mean,
bad.
It's really, Andy,
Bad.
You're not doing me any good if you're not on the court.
Yeah, the Cavs, again, there's parts.
It's annoyingly, it's obnoxious.
They are just never
with the injuries. It's obnoxious.
It just feels like it's been 3 years of injury reports, to your point. And I don't think it's talked about enough. The Cavs are injured a lot.
Feels like it's a culture of injuries.
It just every day. I don't know. It's just getting. That's the kind of stuff where next year, if I see more injury reports like this, I'll be like, all right, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. I'll give it a pass this year because this team didn't play a full year the year before. Right. This pandemic's been weird. So there's been a lot of things that I put on a figure for this. But I will say that's my one big caution flag. It's been 3 years of just a lot of injuries. So we'll see. I know this gets debated a lot on Instagram, so I'll put it to good rest right now. The Cavs' expectations for playoffs, here it is in a simple nutshell. They have an easy schedule in April after the Pelicans game. They play one team in the playoff hunt. May is a nightmare. And for people who forget, the schedule is going later. May is an absolute nightmare of games. So, Jared, if these injuries continue, which I get the feeling they are, the Cavs are going to have, for people who want to see this, they're going to have no problem making a lottery. And I don't see the injury list getting thinner. I'm starting to resign myself to the injuries are probably going to stay this way, or if not get worse. And the Cavs making the lotteries.
And words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
because we were talking about that before, about whether they were going to screw that up. I think I had mentioned it.
Well, they're not going to.
And it just doesn't it was kind of funny to even think they're really going to win their way out of the lottery. No,
not now.
No. Let's talk more about Jadeveon Clowney and the Browns. Super Bowl bound Browns. Let's talk about them.
I thought I thought about oh my God, yes. Again, I just thought the reaction was so weird today from people shoulder shrugging. Browns are very exciting.
It must be nice to be always that good to be able to shrug your shoulders over a move like that.
I just thought that reation today was
way to take it for granted. Way to take it for granted after one season making the playoffs.
And multiple people like
not recognizing what this does to improve a defense that was really kind of an Achilles heel. Throughout the season.
For people shoulder shruggers in this mood, do you want to see Porter Gustin in the big spot?
Seriously.
Come on.
Seriously.
Great signing. Browns are going to Super Bowl. The Tribe, 2.5 weeks to see what we're really at. The Cavs are the Cavs.
Make sure you check out the website, clevelandandbeyond.net, clevelandandbeyond.net.
Love you, Ben Gamble.
You can see the podcast there, a couple of biographies on us two dudes on there as well. Real important stuff on there. Amazing. Maybe someday a blog if I feel like writing. Sometimes I want to write. Andy used to write. Follow us on Twitter.
No one read them, so I stopped.
Well, we'll talk about that. Follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, at CLE and Beyond. On Facebook, facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond. And shoot us an email, Andy and Jared, JARID, at gmail.com. We are brought to you by Waiting for Next Year, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. And we're also brought to you by Evergreen Podcast. Don't forget to follow us after most every Indians game and most every Cavs game on our Instagram page at Official Cleveland Sports. Andy covers all the Cavs games because Lord knows I don't want to talk about them. And
I'll carry the torch.
I've actually gotten a little bit. I'm getting there on the Cavs.
You're hooked. Come on.
I'm getting there on the Cavs, but I'm there for the Indians, brother, because that's just in my blood. After the Indians games, although I got to be honest with you, Andy, I don't know that. I look. This is a real bummer. I talked to my wife about this. These 8 o'clock starts. I don't know that I'm going to be able to stay up and do that. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. Like I'm asleep because I wake up early and I go to the gym now, which is fucking nuts because that's not something I've done in years. So I don't know. I don't know if I can push it on these 8 o'clock starts. So I apologize in advance.
It's all right.
Andy carries the Instagram page. Yes.
Like Baker Mayfield. Just I'll put Jared on my shoulders and lead him to the victory Super Bowl party.
Andy does. Although I will say this now, I finally got the login. So there's going to be times where it's just me. The last time it was just me, people hated me and wanted Andy back. It was rather amusing. It's a different audience on Instagram. Very different audience.
Saucy.
It's a lot of fun though.
Saucy robots.
Check that out.
All sorts of things. Jared will be doing a show on Sunday, so everybody get your love letters ready. So I'll be traveling this week. Got a film to do.
Oh, Sunday.
Reds Tribe. One up.
Yeah, that's easy. I'll do that.
Yeah, the Cavs and I discussed. They decided not to play on Sunday. Thank you, Cavs. So
yeah. It'll be me on Sunday on Instagram. So there, Damien. Whether Andy carries it or not.
I love Damien. Here's my last note for everybody out there. I think it is so right of everyone to get excited about the Browns. I mean, obviously we're doing tongue in cheek, but we're also being serious. Like this is a great time.
Yes.
Enjoy this. Don't poo-poo it. Don't get humble pot. This is fucking great. Enjoy every move like this. Great to see the Indians do what they did to the Tigers. Tigers are bad. And like I said, I'll end it on positive. Hartenstein, Okuro growing, Dean Wade, by the way, I didn't even mention Dean Wade. The Dean Wade story is amazing. That's legitimate too. Yep. Dean Wade's actually playing well. He's doing a good job. He had a career high on Sunday against the Pelicans. There are some positives. There's a lot more you can wade in the negatives of the Cavs, and I get that, but there are some positives to that story. There are.
God bless EJ.
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
What? Really? See, you're doing it again. You're doing it again.
For everybody listening, it's okay. Tristan McKenzie's gave a 3-run shot. No big deal. No
that's great. Deal. Thanks.
Damian posted it. I gotta read it on Facebook.
Ah, Damian, you son of a bitch. I didn't see it yet. Let's see. How far behind am I, really? He's down 0-1 here. Eaton's down 0-1. What could possibly happen? Oh, that happened.
A meatball. I mean, a meatball.
It was a meatball, and he was all over it. Yep.
Boom.
Walked 2 and gave a 3-run bomb. All right. Well,
remember it's his second year.
No, okay, listen, I am not worried about Tristan McKenzie.
No, I didn't say you. Remember, for everybody out there, in my opinion, I'm willing to show on this. Second year, look up Kluber, Sabathia. Second year, it's tough as a pitcher. It's a grind. So don't read too much into struggles from McKenzie. I think he's going to be very good.
Cool deal. Final thoughts. Anything else? Because I think we're about done.
Purdue's going to win the national championship next year too in basketball.
Stop slapping your table.
I just got a cat. I'm sorry.
It is just slap.
Oh my God.
Slap. You're like a little kid. Take it out of your hands. The cap, that is.
It's a 1-2 count.
Don't care. Go Browns, Super Bowl! Jadeveon Clowney! Signing tomorrow! Woo! Yeah. Happening.
My PR team, Damian.
$5 million a year?
Damian, my PR guy.
Hey, look at that. Damian could be your manager. He's your hype man.
Never even met the man, but he can do it now.
4 million, 5 million a year, guaranteed. Who gives a shit?
Okay,
sign for 12 million a year, 3 years, guaranteed.
Trust Andrew Barry. Trust Andrew Barry.
Okay.
Don't do these like how's it blah, blah, blah. Look, we don't know the arithmetic. Trust him.
Yeah.
Trust him.
Trust him.
Trust him.
Trust him.
Just funny that he thinks Purdue's going to win the national. Oh, come on, Damian. Cut the nuts down.
Do the Browns lose a game at all next year?
No.
All right.
I think the question is, are they going to win every game by double digits? The answer is yes.
Talk again soon.
I believe they're already up 14-0 on the Squealers.
Oh, God.
How's their offseason going?
Well, according to their fans, you guys soon forget we won the division in 11 games. They're in denial. Those fans are in denial.
Who's your starting center?
Oh. I don't know. Some guy's going to snap it over Ben's head. And Ben's just going to look at it as it goes over his head, not even fall on it.
It's so fucking great that they blow. Oh, so great. They stink.
Pennsylvania. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Just beat the fuck out of the Ravens. That's all.
Oh, Jadeveon Clowney is going to help with that.
Yeah, sets the edge, stop the run. Yeah.
Porter Gustin, Jadeveon Clowney. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. All right, everybody. Talk again soon. Go Browns. Go Tribe. They'll come back and win this. Steelers blow like Ben Gamble. Yes, thank you. On that note, no other words. Signing off.
Poor Ben Gamble. I'm buying his jersey. I love Ben.
Peace.
Cleveland and Beyond with Andy and Jared is a part of Evergreen Podcast. You can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond, on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, or shoot them an email at andyandjared@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the website, clevelandandbeyond.net.